I was going to be, the MATruth, I said I was going to begin with this December reading from this book, The Secret Destiny of America by Manly P. Hall. And I'm getting ready to do that. So, this is just 6 books. One is a journal. The one on the upper left is one of my publications, Sins of My Father. And it's just some of the books that I have here that I've read numerous times. So, let's get right to this. We're talking about Western culture 1,000 years before Columbus. And of course, we already know. Okay, we already know. We was already here. Beginning to read this here. It says, in the Mexican area, the civilization then existing was the most advanced on the earth. The ancient Mayas had massive public buildings and observatories in at least 100 cities. These were connected by broad paved highways. Highways, y'all. Rulers were elected by the common agreement of the people. The Mayas hold the world record for a continued peace of 500 years. This has been attributed for their having passed or possessed no monetary symbol or currency for goods exchange. Theirs was the first democratic state on a continent set aside for the perfection of the dream of democracy. Long before the coming of the white man, the spirit of human equality, human cooperation, and freedom of worship had flourished here. Let's see, this is chapter 12. Page number is 85. And we shall continue. Please excuse me. I'm trying to get this camera in my hand to work like it needs to, so I can show you the page and I can read at the same time. In the jungles of Yucatan, Guatemala, and Honduras are the ruined cities of a lost civilization which flourished on the North American continent 1,000 years before the voyage of Columbus. Stuart Chase has made the observation that in the 5 centuries immediately following the beginning of the Christian era, the civilization of the Mayas was the most advanced existing on the earth. Very little is known of the Mayas, their origin, history, religion, or culture. Because of the wholesale destruction of Mayan writings and historical records in the early years of the Spanish conquest, massive ruins of their buildings remain in great stone tablets, but these are in a language as yet undeciphered. From the physical evidence and the material remains, we know that the empire of the Mayas extended over a very large area. Included were at least 100 cities, connected by an intricate pattern of broad paved highways. Enough of the art of the Mayas has survived to entitle them to a high place in the sphere of creative aesthetics. Ain't that a bitch? And their massive stone and plaster buildings prove that they possessed a well-developed knowledge of architectronics. They had observatories for the study of the arts and developed a highly accurate calendar. Their written language, more complicated than Chinese, is a type suited to the expression of exact knowledge and the most refined mental and emotional reflexes. I guess it just amazes me how these people, how these Europeans, these Europoids, whatever you want to call them, can see that they truly, they're not able to comprehend, because this ain't their shit. Okay? I'm sorry, I'm a little hostile today. Just deal with it. According to their own legend, the Mayas owed their cultural superiority to a mysterious old man who came out of the sea riding on a raft of serpents. Among various tribes, this man has different names, but he is best known for the title conferred upon him in the Mexican area. Here he was called Quetzalcoatl. Now, King Drop has dealt with this, and if I mispronounced it and butchered it, I apologize. He is said to have come from the east, from the land of the many-colored rocks. Quetzalcoatl carried with him the symbol of the cross. Did he? His name means the feathered snake, or the serpent covered with the plumes of the Quetzal bird. Quetzal. Again, if I butchered it, I apologize. The feathered snake taught the people of Central America all of the useful arts and raised them from a primitive state to one of an excellent civilization. He instructed them in agriculture, architecture, medicine, science, language, religion, and statesmanship. Having accomplished the civilization of the Indian tribes, he ruled over them for a time as a benevolent priest-king. Then he returned to the shore of the sea, called to his raft of serpents, and then floated away to the east with the promise to return at a distant day to rule over his nation. When Cortez reached the coast of Mexico, the Aztec king Montezuma dispatched messengers of state bearing with them the plumed crown of Mexico. The trusting Aztec thought that Cortez was Quetzalcoatl, returned and was ready immediately to surrender the throne. The Mayan Empire was the highest civilization to be developed in the Americas. Also, it was the first great democratic state on a continent curiously set aside for the perfection of the dream of democracy. So far as we know, the rulers of the Mayas were not hereditary, but were elected for life by common agreement of the people. They seem to have governed wisely and to have fulfilled the classical requirements of priest-kings. What is this classical requirements? And by whose standards? The priesthood itself was powerful, but benevolent, given to learning, and a patron of the arts and sciences. The religion consisted of a monotheism, that is, the worship of one supreme principle abiding in the sun. Here we go. Next to deity, peculiar veneration was given to the feathered snakes, who was regarded as a king of Messiah who suffered, died, and arose again. King Drop already know what I'm thinking because he hear me over here moaning and groaning. The legend of Quetzalcoatl was thus in parallel with the myth of the dying god, very much as in Egypt, Chaldea, Greece, and as expressed by the early Christian church. Hijack. The Mayas were not a warlike people, and there is no support for the popular belief that they were by nature cruel or barbaric. No, that's for y'all European bastards. On the altars of their gods, they offered only flowers and fruit. And it was not until the decline of the empire and its domination by less advanced tribes that human sacrifice was practiced, and then only on the rarest occasions. It is believed that the Mayas hold the world record for continued peace. They flourished as a great powerful nation for 500 years without war with other tribes or internal strife. The high civilization attained by the Mayas was due primarily to the laws given to them by Quetzalcoatl. So long as they obeyed these laws, they continued to prosper. Unfortunately, we have no complete record of their legal codes, but we know a few of the outstanding principles which lay at the root of their state. So, I'm going to leave it right there. We shall continue with this again on a later date. I was reading, what is that, chapter 12? Yeah. And this is from the book, The Secret Destiny of America by Manly P. Hall. I'm not going to read all of this stuff. I'm just going to pick out chapters here and there that I think may be of interest. I hope you find it interesting. Do your own research. Always do your own research. Dig deep, because in every lie there is an element of truth. As our esteemed brother Hiram Art would say, big ups and big blessings to the family. to Drop Nation, to all those who have an ear to hear and a heart to know what's really going on. Time out for play, y'all. King Drop. I'm picking up all your lingo, son. Time out for play. We got to get real with this. Have a great one. MATruth out.